नंदिनी जी, मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी सर।
हाँ, प्रोसीड करिए इंट्रोडक्टरी रिमार्क सर का।
ओके सर।
हम्म।
Hello everyone. A warm and very lovely good evening to one and all. I hope you all are doing well. I'm Nandini Sharma. I'm the program coordinator of 30 Days International Winter School Come Training. We have organized this training on the topic Navigating Agriculture Transformation for the Upliftment of Rural Excellence, Nature 2024, organized by AgriMeet Foundation Bharat in collaboration with CIMMYT Mexico, Southern Federal University of Russia, ICADA Lebanon, World Agroforestry Center for International Forest Research Kenya, ICRISAT Hyderabad, Manage Hyderabad, SKL TSHU Telangana, MGUVV Durg, CCS HAU Hisar, IGKV Raipur, IARI New Delhi, MHU Karnal, NDRI Karnal, ICAR IARI New Delhi, ICAR DCR Puttur Karnataka, Stanford University and University of California. I welcome you all for the 12th day international training on the topic Dairy Value Chain for Food and Income Security. It is my honor to introduce our eminent speaker, Dr. Dhee Singh. He is a distinguished biochemist, Fellow of National Academy of Sciences, and Fellow of National Academy of Agriculture Sciences, India. He has received MSc and PhD degree in biochemistry from Lucknow University and National Dairy Research Institute, NDRI, deemed a university at Karnal, Haryana, in India, respectively. During his doctoral degree, selected as agriculture research scientist, he has joined Animal Biochemistry Division at NDRI as scientist and subsequently promoted to principal scientist and currently joined as head Animal Biochemistry Division. He has awarded with Boys Cast Better Opportunity for Young Scientists in chosen area of Science and Technology Fellowship from Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, to pursue higher study abroad and worked in Department of Cell Biology and Developmental and Anatomy at School of Medicine, University of South Carolina, USA in area of transcriptional regulation of eukaryotic genes. Visiting scholar of School of Medicine, tools RNAi in functional analysis of genes in granulosa cells. Life member of prominent professional national scientific societies, namely SBC India, ISSRF, ISCB, etc. And currently, he is convener in SBC Karnal chapter. During his research career of more than 25 years, he has supervised 18 masters and 18 PhD students, handled more than 25 research projects funded by various funding agencies. His main research is on topic identification and analysis of transcriptional regulation of selected trait affecting fertility genes, application of miRNA and RNA interference tools for livestock functional genomics, epigenetic regulation of gene expression, exosome biology, and development of nanobiosensor. He has been awarded with various professional awards, recognitions, and fellowships. Fellow of National Academy of Science India, Fellow of National Academy of Agriculture Sciences India, Fellow of National Academy of Dairy Science of India. He has been awarded with N.R. Modgal Oration Award, Chelappa Oration Award, Labsetwar Award 2013, Boys Cast Fellowship Award, 11th AJAS, 9th AJAS, SAB Eminent Biotechnology Award, and FSAB Fellowship of Society of Applied Biotechnology. We are very impressed by his awards, and I welcome you, sir, for this training. Over to you. The session is yours, sir.
Thank you, Nandini. It's a really pleasure to be this winter school, to be we join this winter school for my the presentation. Let me share and confess that basically the whatever the background you have reported, basically I'm a reproductive molecular biologist, but what the topic we have chosen today, that is basically toward the dairy, because presently I'm heading the institution of dairying. So I thought actually look, because dairy is one of the very important aspects. So I have chosen the dairy. I am sure that this, can you see my slides?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Perfectly visible, sir.
And these are presentation mode.
ये सर प्रेजेंटेशन मोड पे नहीं है अभी सर.
Oh,
अब सर हाँ सर प्रेजेंटेशन मोड. Yes, sir.
it's now in the presentation mode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, so thank you very much. So with the brief introduction, I'm really flattered, actually, glad to see all of you. And we are going to be discuss with dairy value chain for the food and income security. I've already shared that. So basically, I'm a molecular biologist, but I'm going to be chosen because the dairy is one of the I belong to. So what we are going to be discussing in couple of 45 minutes or 1 hour, that's about us, from where actually the institution and we are belong to. Then dairy global versus Indian facts economic. We are going to discuss dairy value chain. Dairy and food security was one of the very important. I have chosen the major focus, actually, what we have chosen the dairy and how the food security and dairy and income security challenges. Proposed solution, keeping in view of the NDRA perspective, and later on, of course, the conclusion, and we'll be happy to be share some of the answers, some of the question of the audience, if it is. Well, as far as our organization, we belong to the ICR, and I think all of might be knowing Indian Council of Agriculture Research. I would like to be shared that the Indian Council of Agriculture Research is the apex body of coordinating, guiding research, education, agriculture in our country with all aspect of the agriculture, horticulture, fisheries, animal science in the entire country. We have 113 ICR institution among us. ICR and dairy is one of the deemed university. We have a 4 deemed university, and one of actually that NDRA is also deemed university. But apart from that, ICR has also responsibility of looking actually the 74 agriculture university spread across the country. And it is a really proud moment to share that this ICR is one of the largest national agriculture system in the world. I think we are the most biggest actually agriculture network in the world as far as ICR Council is concerned. If you look actually ICR, our NDRA, it is established, we are 100-year-old and established in 1923. We have 2 regional stations, and we are Bangalore and other is at Kalyani near Kolkata. From Bangalore, we are looking forward to be shared and counter actually look the southern part of this. As far as our Kalyani center is looking all the Northeast and the TSP projects, TSP of the Northeast. Apart from that, we have a 3 service center, and this service center is basically based on actually when we found actually some of the important aspect of the country where the dairy has some issues. For example, Motihari, we are looking forward, there's actually the Motihari, the dairy sector from this to improve the genetic improvement of that region. Goras is lying in MP, and here actually the Gir is a good population of Gir. But the productivity is issue, so we have taken and given Government of India has given project to tackle actually the Gir population of the Goras, which is lying in MP. And Lalu Kheri, we are looking at the western actually this Muzaffarnagar. We have adopted 100 villages to make this as a model to improve actually the productivity of this. Apart from that, we have 2 region KVK, Karnal and Kalyani. I'm sorry, it's yeah. Can move it? Yeah, it's moving. Well, if you look actually what our position as far as Indian dairy sector is concerned in world, we all know that India is number 1 in milk production. If you look the total overall production of the world, approximately this is about 7 countries is going to 50% milk production, and among that actually India is. Our contribution in the world scale is the 24% milk production is from actually India. Just I wanted to be shared. So it is a really proud all of us that India is number 1, not from this year, 2 year, but last 1 decade we are number 1 production with 24 contribution across this. I wanted to be shared. But this is not the total one population, but also per capita. If you look, actually, we have more actually than the average. That's actually the dairy sector is the glory of India. because in any other aspect, if you are to look the world capita, 123 kg per year or 366 gram per day as per availability of the milk across world. But India is much ahead as the world population capita in terms of the consumption also, that 106 gram per year or 440 gram per day. And this is a very, very high as compared to the world average. So this is also one of the glory for this. Apart from that, our Indian economy, the dairy sector is also very important, because if you look, our GVA sector is, as far as the data, if you have a 14 lakh crore, and 66% of the 14 lakh GVA of livestock is coming from dairy sector. Rest actually meat and others actually as for livestock sector. So again, we have actually the contribution in the GDP is very, very high as compared to this. And the more important, if you look actually dairy sector, with this glory and this achievement, this is, if you look the global sustainable development goal also, the dairy sector, almost actually the 11 SDG. We are actually involved with this 11 SDG, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 8, 15, and 17. We all know, as far as the world, we have to work with this actually 17 SDGs, and dairy sector is almost associated with the 11. So this is also very, very important to make the global sustainable development goal also. Dairy is one of the important. I'm not going to detail, but this just to show that how the important is dairy sector in terms of the making the global sustainable development goal. As far as India dairy value chain is concerned, the source of income, 70 to 80% of all in the milk value chain is produced by small farmer. This is one of the important aspect as far, because this is make the actually livelihood for our small dairy old farmers. Those do not have actually, if there is no marginal and small farmer, the 70 to 80%, they don't have actually. Even there is a landless also, they are involved into the dairy sector, which is a livelihood, a very important livelihood for the person. And this, if you look the employment also, 8 crore farmers, out of that actually 70% actually the women. That's why substantial actually the women empowerment, the dairy sector is also very important. And apart from that also, we are contributing more than 5% as far national economy concerned. So these are some of the important and dairy value chain, the source of income security. I've already shared how is 8% farmer is involved, 8 lakh crore farmers are involved as far dairy sector is concerned. Overall economic growth, and if you look actually empowered generation, income generation, women empowerment, rural entrepreneurship, and so on. So almost several actually the field, the dairy sector involved so it is very the important sector as far dairy in terms of the livelihood as far income generation is concerned. The Indian dairy value chain is source of food and income. Why it is very important? Because from input to the consumer, almost actually all the rural sector is associated with the dairy value chain. And that's actually provides from the basis of livelihood is concerned. So not only from the primary sector, but also from the tertiary sector, dairy sector is involved. Because the primary sector, what is increasing, but the tertiary sector is also very, very important for economic growth. And the dairy sector involved from primary to tertiary sector this is one of the industry, or you can say one of the actually livestock sector, which is involved in almost all primary, secondary, from the production side, the processing side, and then as far to make the consumer to the service sector also. So this is very, very important actually as far dairy. That's I wanted to be shared, that the Indian dairy value chain could be an important source for the food and income security. This is just overview, and why now we are wanted to be shared actually that how the dairy sector could not be only important for livelihood, but also for the food security. This food security, if you look the definition of FAO, which is not the physical, social. So that's very important, that food security means not to stomach the fill also, that but the food grain. But if you look, the definition is very important to understand actually what is meaning of the food security. The food security means that all people at all time, that accessibility, the physical, social, and economic access to the sufficient, That's a safe and nutritious feed. Here, what we are actually trying to dedicate this particular presentation toward nutritious food. That means that the food preference and dietary preference also, that is also one of the important, because if you have actually our society needs some sort of actually for the social of the food as far as the food security. It does not that if you can get actually the food from different source, but if it is not actually a food preference, for example, you can get the animal protein by the meat, but meat availability is there, but we do not have a preference for food. So definitely we have to be also utmost important and our duty as far as nation to provide food preference also and dietary needs and active and healthy life. And globally, if you look, really 870 million people do not have access to sufficient food for nutritious and safe. So that's why it is very, very important. It is not that you have availability of food, but also toward the social preference is there. That's I'm going to be highlight how the dairy sector could be so important that need. Because if you are not going to be provide the food of preference, even then actually the food security, that's as per globally. And that's why our index as per food hunger index is not actually as considered as good as per international scenario is concerned. Though I do not agree as far as my personal, actually, I don't agree what the food hunger and food. So though I'm not, but there is actually the important aspect that we should also make the availability of the food based on the preference of the society, not the only based on the availability of the food for the dietary need. So that's actually what could be the pillars of the determinant of food security: the availability, affordability, sustainability, and quality and safe. These are some of the important pillars that the food what you are provide, it should be available also. It is not that if you have available, but it cannot be available for the society, then it is also not actually, this also determined, could not be actually good for food security. Affordability also. It is possible that you have a food, but it is not affordable by all the people. Then it is also a concern of the food security. Sustainability, you can provide sometime, but you cannot provide all time. That's also a very important indicator for the food security. And the quality of safe. The food is available, even in dairy sector is available, but if it is not safe and not good quality, it means it is also a considered important aspect of the food security. So if we have to ensure the food security, we have to go with this all four pillars: the availability, sustainability, as well quality, safety, and the affordability. That's important. Look, so I'm not actually focusing on all the availability. We already know, as far as our India is concerned, we are number one and we have sufficient food is available. Not we are sufficient food, but also food surplus. Because if you look at all the sector, food grain also in terms of actually at the time of the independence, we have a 50 million as part food grain, and now we have 350, almost 7 times. And similarly, dairy sector, we have a 17 million milk at the time of independence, and now we have a 230 million, 1200% increase production. But even if that actually, if you look actually the food index, the hunger index of India is not very good as us because of some reason. For example, the one reason I'm going to be highlight as far as standing rate is concerned, the standing rate in terms of the global, I'm not going to detail, but globally, if you look, the Indian condition is not as good as it should be. Because in spite of the actually stomach, we have a surplus food, but the source of animal, if you look actually the meat consumption, because standing is also very important in terms of the animal. Animal source protein is important for the growth of the children, for mom to overcome the malnutrition. And this is one of the example that if there is animal protein is not, and that's why standing, if you look the India, the percentage is very, very high. It is just compared because most of the society is not actually taking the meat consumption is not very as per preference is concerned. That's why I wanted to highlight it here. And the animal source protein is the best source for quality nutrient and rich food for children. It is also a data source. And that's why opportunity to enhance the production of high quality animal source food. And in terms of the preference, if you look, this milk could be also a very important source. And recently, I would like to share that this actually the data of the Indian child malnutrition. And this is not that we do not have a food, we have surplus food, but the important is that this all red reason, it shows the malnutrition is high, and that's why they have highlighted there the preference of the food where the meat, other than the meat, actually the animal source protein is there, and if the dairy sector availability is there, the malnutrition is very, very less. So the diet per children to per is based on what they are ate. And if you look actually the middle of the actually India, the malnutrition, red shows the malnutrition is high and the green shows the malnutrition. So the based on availability of the actually the food preference, where the dairy sector and the egg and meat sector is there, where all the three is high availability is there, the malnutrition is less. But the middle sector, where the meat availability or the preference is not very high, even the dietary and they are not. So if we availability of dairy sector can serve the purpose of malnutrition as far as the animal protein source is concerned. So this is a very interesting data. I thought we should share it, that how the dairy sector could be very important aspect. And that's why Indian dairying, a solution of the food security could be very, very important. So food insecurity and malnutrition is studying-based deficiencies in micronutrient, overweight and obesity. The biggest concern is child nutrition in this. So the preference of the food is there going to be. So Indian could be a solution. Dairy could be a very important solution for malnutrition and food security as the animal protein concentration. So milk production in dairy, if you look, from 70, I have already shared that this is actually data up to 21, but now we have 230 million. From 70, this is almost actually 1200% increase, and the world largest production of this. We have a very diverse actually production by Moses, because India is emerging diversity of milk sources, their milking population, total population. So that's, we have a potential as far as dairy sector is concerned, not for the economic livelihood, but the food. This is very important as far as animal source is concerned. So milk from bovine and non-bovine source, that's as well as milk fortification, a feasibility of solution to be overcome our malnutrition and food security. Here, please, I just wanted to be shared that I'm only taking one particular important, how the dairy sector could be important for the food security, where the major concern of the food security as per malnutrition and the preference of the food is there. The dairy sector, because our society, all the diverse society is not actually can take the actually as per different food, animal protein available through meats and other sources. So milk is the only alternate source. Dairy is the only alternate source. So that's so milk from not only from the bovine but non-bovine source is also important aspect, and milk fortification, that we have to be value addition, and that could be a feasible solution for malnutrition as well as preference is concerned. But there is, of course, there is a challenge. I will come what the challenge is this, and then challenge how do we come, we can go with this, actually tackle actually this channel. The management of feed and fodder, because is the high cost and lack of, because the dairy sector, we are number one, no doubt, but we have some of the actually challenges is there. That challenge is the one is the feed, because based on our urbanization over the land, actually, the feed and fodder is one of the serious concern as far as, though we have actually the different paradigm shift of the research of the feed and fodder is going by the ICAR Institute, and some is located at our IGFRI. They have actually the excellent actually the research of different actually the feed and fodder variety is developing to tackle actually the problem is there. I'm sure that this the initiative and there is the research which is going to be take care of this problem also. And it is a well actually always concerned that we are number one, but there is the productivity of the milk, means all average actually milk product. I'm talking about the as per milk production average. If you divide the total milk production by available cattle population, then the productivity is of course the concern. The veterinary care and service and high cost medicine, these are the also matter concern. Infrastructure, physical constraint, marketing linkage and low, and the taxation value because of value product project. These are the some of the important actually consider and recognize as this. Some is very high of important concern, challenge, and some. But here I am going to be share actually what we as NDRI, the sustainable dairying as amenable to improve the global index of the insecurity. If you look the availability, the promoting the both and bovine, non-bovine, because mostly initially we are actually concerned and focused actually bovine population, and our crossbred, we develop two crossbreds as far NDRI is concerned, and our crossbred is developed a long back. Now it is stabilized. Even NDRI is going to be make the synthetic government of India initiative, making the breed actually the zero breed to make the registration of all the breeds. And we are also going to be make the synthetic breed registration. Synthetic means we have they make our breed by crossing the high producing as well as indigenous to make more and sustainability. And recently our ICR, one of the important ICR institute, this NBGRI has already registered and Gazette notification has been done for one synthetic. So we are already doing work as per bovine and buffalo, but non-bovine milk is also important. So that's make the availability. We have to be make the more and more focus as per bovine as non-bovine. Decrease in production cost, that is also issue. We are looking forward actually how we can make the production cost. So if decrease the production cost, the availability, affordability will be also is important. So that we have to be work on to the production cost. If it is a production cost is going to be high, the probability, availability is also a concern. Affordability is also going to be a issue. That's why the government of India is always concerned as far as the dairy sector is concerned in terms of the price. But at the same time, we have to be also look forward for the profitability also of the farmers. So this is the balance we have to be managed, and research has to be done. And that is one of the important focus of our NDRI as far as objective is concerned, to make our India's global actually food security and index to be better food security index, as well as making income security. Increase animal productivity. I have already shared that the increased animal productivity is very, very utmost important as far our country's average production is very, very low. I will share how to actually what the NDRI is doing are our national priority for the making animal production. And this awareness is also very important for availability and affordability, dairy consumption and health, avoiding the wasting and misusing dairy product, business opportunity in dairy value chain, and marketing strategy. These are the important aspects which make the availability and affordability is there. Similarly, to make again this quality and safety is also major concern, and particularly in terms of dairy, this is always, you might have always listening, the dairy products is a lot of actually contaminant, adulterant with the dairy product. So this is also very important. I will share what the actually NDRI is doing, or what NDRI has done to be making sure. Let me share it from as the head of the institution of National Dairy Research Institute. I assure all the consumer that not only NDRI has developed actually has developed several actually the methods, which is not only at the site, but all the dairy sector are using to ensure the quality and safety. I think we need not too much worry, as it is sometimes it come into the actually the media that quality and safety is the issue, because almost all the actually the cooperatives, all the big actually the industry of dairy industry, they are trying to actually make the ensure the quality. And for that actually our NDRI has also developed not at the laboratory level but also at the site level actually testing, and very simple, easy and cheaper method. I will share how many actually method technology we develop to make the quality and ensure the quality and safety. Similarly, sustainability adaptation is also important. So selection of efficient, economic friendly dairy animal, that's our motto as well as our mandate as well as our priority is there. Novel manure, this management strategy, it is sustainability adaptation is the important for this. Integrated livestock production is also for adaptability, because if you have a not big land, if you have land, then even if you can go for the livestock. So integrated system is also important. And that's integrated system was a new concept. It was a very old concept. But over the period of time, we started adopting actually the isolated actually the farming system. But I think the integrated livestock protection not only secure the actually the quality safety, but sustainability and adaptation is very important. Point of care technology for animal health, not only for dairy product, but health is also very, animal health is very important. Until and you are not going to be let milk, safe milk from the actually the healthy animal, that it is very difficult to ensure the quality of the product as per dairy product is concerned. So it is equally important the dairy to be, milk to be ensured, the animal health should be also very, very important. And Government of India is taking a big, actually another, actually the bigger, actually at national level to ensure, and particularly animal husbandry department in the Government of India is taking care of the animal health across the actually the country. For vaccination is there, and all the actually the different type of vaccine availability, affordability, as well as the newer actually new generation vaccine for making the actually ensure the animal health. Alternative method for animal disposal is also issue, and that's why this is also need to be taken care of to make actually the quality safety as well as the sustainability adaptation. Cold chain maintenance is very, very important. Being a perishable item, the cold chain maintenance is one of the important also, because the milk is always if you have ensured the good quality actually the feed, if you good quality water, and if you ensure the good quality water and feed, the milk is going to be, and the health of animal, then milk is going to be a very important. But each, because it is a secretion from the animal body, there is a possibility due to the exposure, because it's very rich in the nutrient, and because of nutrient, there is a very good actually the attract actually the bacteria. That's why the cold chain maintenance is important. Otherwise, immediately if you have animal is a clean health, everything, feed and fodder is clean, water is clean, the milk is never, there is no issue far as milk is concerned. But when they come out of the actually the milk, because of the good nutrient, they attract actually the bacteria. So you have to be make the cold chain maintenance to be to not to be actually spoiled actually. And that's why the spot the on the spot chilling milk containers as well as transport vehicle traceability also a issue as far as the dairy animal is concerned, because India is a large diverse population, and our most of the dairy farmer I have already shared in beginning that there is they are very small, the small holder, they have only 2 or 3 animals all. So the traceability of dairy animal is one of the issue, and the Government of India is trying to be actually number each and every animal which is under the milling and to make this traceability. So these are the some issue for the stability. Now let me share some of the important aspect of the dairy as far as NDRI contribution to excellence in dairy science. So we are you have seen the 7 challenges we discussed. All 7 challenges is our thrust area. For the low productivity, genomic selection and reproductive business management is also thrust area. The NDRI has we have each and every challenge what we shared actually in the beginning of the slide. We again the sharing the as far as the thrust area. That's why this thrust area is just to tackle each and every challenge. Better economic and the housing, because the management is one. The cost-effective package and bypass technology ration, that the availability of food and alternative food and cheaper food is also issue. We have shared that the feed and feed fodder availability is linkage with the national and international institution is also we have to be understand and across the actually to understand resolve the certain problem. Dairy health adaptability and climate change is one. Climate change is also coming as one of the important, not only for that it's to make sustainability, but the climate change is also important for net zero as per the international scenario is concerned. Dairy processing, probiotic, therapeutic, and nutraceutical, these are the also because for the sustainability, and let me share what the meaning of the therapeutic and nutraceutical as well. Because the for example, non-bovine is there. We know the goat and camel is a very important actually non-bovine milk. And they have been associated with the sometime diabetic as well as dengue, but we still need to be understand what the actually and clinical trial we have to do. That's why not only NDRI, but animal husbandry as well as ICAR has the major focus on making this other aspect of dairy sector, apart from the value addition of the milk and milk product, but also for therapeutic and nutraceutical. So this could be, this is also one of the long time, our objective to make this non-bovine for the clinical and therapeutic and nutraceutical purpose, so that not only we can make this bovine sector for the dairy into the dairy sector, but also for the good, actually the pricing for the farmer who are keeping as part of the other non-bovine animals. And so NDRI, actually the excellence that current feeds and current Swiss, we have developed two, and 40 years back actually the NDRI develops two breeds. This breed I would like to be shared that highest milk of the current feeds we have 47 kgs. Average, actually, all the crane feeds, average milk production is almost, as far highest, actually, the peak based 30. But overall, if you look, actually, the milk of the current feeds, average production of whatever the animal available, this is 14 kg. Even if you take actually the current feeds, the crossbred, and this is widely accepted also like current feeds, current. So all the 50% actually the milk production by the actually the our crossbreed and current feeds, one of the actually the crossbreed we developed by NDRI. I would prefer, I would advocate that if you adopt actually this animal, which is a sustainable as well as a very sustainable as far our climate is concerned, developed by, we are going to make it a registration, synthetic breed registration. I've already, very soon it is going to. So this could be a good option to be increase the milk production average. But the indigenous animal is also our need to be understand. So because the indigenous is still, we have actually the concern average milk production is 3 or 4 per day as far as total population if you divide by the milk production by indigenous. So it sometimes the breed improvement is take longer time. So NDRI has taken actually alternative method. We have also started the clone and it is success. So we can actually high yielding animal we can clone. We have a success story of in cloning, buffalo cloning. And we cloned actually long back in 2007 and 8. The animal is very perfectly okay because the animal cloned in 2007. We have actually actually the lactation after the natural and after 8 births actually the animal is died. So it is natural and milk is also as a normal quality. So this buffalo is a successful technology and we can make it. Apart from that, we have NDRI is also developed the first IVF cow. Means we have actually, we can take the an ovum pickup technology also. So we have an ovum pickup technology that if you have a good quality, even the genus animal of the high genetic breeding bull, then the high genetic animal, we can clone it. Apart from this, cloning technology is also very important to be cloned because semen availability of semen is also major concern to make across the country, to make the available semen, good quality semen. So we have actually, generally, if you take to develop a one bull up through progeny testing, it take almost 8 to 10 years actually. So once we actually produce the animal, whether it is a bull of the cattle as well as the buffalo, that bull has a life and they can produce a limited amount, a limited quantity of semen. But once we have a progeny tested and that bull have a semen, same actually bull can be cloned actually by sim, but the genetic potential and same quality of semen, then the progeny tested bull once produced, it can be a series of animal can be produced in 1 and 2 years. That has been already success story of NDRI and along with other institute. We have already our institute, the sister institute of ICR and the CIRB, who tested also clone bull semen in the field, and they found they are as good quality as the normal actually the bull. So the availability of semen can be, so this is also very, very important, and the government of India is also looking forward to be made. Now even the private sector has been entered into making, and there is some company has opened. So this is our NDRI technology of clone semen and IVF technology. And now we have developed a ovum pickup technology also, that we can take the oocyte of high yielding, even our live animal from this actually the cattle, because as per the cattle is not going to be, all reason is not going to be slaughtered, and they are not supposed to be slaughtered, and not as per our society sentiment. So we can take out actually the oocyte from the good quality, a hybrid animal of high producing animal live in cattle, and that oocyte we can produce actually mature it, and then we can make through this we can produce actually the same the genetic merit of cattle our indigenous animal. And this is also success technology. Government of India using this technology developed several centers, and they are the funding also to make the genetic, because the one and only major issue as far apart from other that average milk production of animal is less. So of course the genetic that's classical genetic breeding policy is going on, but we have also cloned as well IVF technology as well as the ovum pickup technology, which can be a paradigm shift in the coming year to make actually our animal productivity is high. Another key, we have actually NDRA develop a paper strip detection milk per contaminant. Almost we have a series of actually almost all the adulterant which is there. We have developed, although the laboratory method, HPLC method is all available since long back, but they take a time. We have to take the milk, bring it to the laboratory, and to develop the test actually take a time, maybe from 1 to 3 hours to actually days. But to overcome this problem, it was difficult actually at the field level. So we developed a paper strip of detection of milk per contaminant. And these are the kits. We have developed several kits, and there is several actually the stakeholder has taken it. Even several entrepreneur we have taken a kit. Even one of my BTech student. This I wanted to be shared from all of you that this could be a very important technology developed by NDRI could be a very important actually for entrepreneur development. Young youth can take the technology from us. They can go further into the market because the need of actually this paper is stripped by the different actually the stakeholder and particularly industries as well as from smaller actually the industry to the bigger industries. That's availability because till today only very few entrepreneur have been developing this kit for available throughout. They are really getting a difficult further. One of my student actually from BTech graduate, they have taken from the technology from us. They started their startup, and now they are actually turned into the 10 crore of the business. And even they are difficult because I had a discussion with they are difficulty into that making the availability of the kit what they required by dairy industry. So this could be very good for our entrepreneur, for young youth to take the technology for this in this sector. This is also, even the dairy sector is coming a very promising actually industry. There is several actually the entrepreneur IT graduate, not only from India, but also from abroad. They actually returning back to India and selecting the dairy sector because the availability of milk is increasing over the period of time in terms of food security and particularly quality food security, and to meet the requirement of food security toward preferences like animal protein and value addition is there. And then it is nutraceutical and pharmacy, the nutraceutical is there. So these are the very important for the future because if you look actually the functional food, CGR, the functional food is growing a very fast, actually more than 15% actually the growth is there. Because over the period of time as the shift actually the urbanization as well as our scenario as the people are actually more and more into the jobs, they need a good functional food. So dairy sector is a very important into this. So I will urge, I will appeal from here, the youth has to be taken to part into this. So not only for their income, that for their entrepreneur and as far as entrepreneurship is there, but also for the nation as far in terms of the food security and make the more preferable food as far as our society is concerned. So this dairy sector in that is so important as far. And of course, we have actually developed an area-specific nutritional solution because the deficiency sometimes it's a very deficient nutritional availability in terms of our country is very diverse in nature. So the region is specific diet of the animal and particularly mineral mixture we have also. Profitable dairy product is also nowadays a need of demand. I have already shared that the functional food is growing very fast as far as in terms of the this urbanization is concerned, most of population is going to be, because service sector is growing as faster as not only in India, but also across the in the world. As for example, even the topmost developed country like United States, the service sector is 80% than the primary sector. So these are the service sector here, the dairy, not only the milk production, the processing and the functional food production system is very, very high demand. So that we have presently, actually, our processing and this functional processing, it is still very, very last, almost 21%, 2%, which need to be increased actually to be actually the coming year. Even there is in our 4720 Viksit Bharat, our Honorable Prime Minister, we are planning to be increased toward increase actually as far as this, and we propose actually to 35 to 50% as far as the processing is concerned. So this is really, really important in terms of the NDRI technology, as well as the develop. This could not only for the primary sector, but also for the tertiary sector and entrepreneur for livelihood and stakeholder at the. So these are the some of the actually the we are 100 year and the glimpse of actually 40 year before we have thought for the making crossbred, and now it is going to be already established and going to be registered for that. So 100 year actually and their contribution in terms of the excellence of dairy science, and these are the pioneering technology category. Let me share also to tackle actually NDRI also started to tackle the problem of climate resilient. So we are trying to identify the climate resilient gene, and if we can, for example, it is already accepted the Thar Parker, which is from Rajasthan, and that is a hot climate area. There is certain, actually, we have identified the certain gene, or we're trying to identify a certain gene, which can be make actually gene edited technology. We have already shared, I would like to be shared, and it is really our proud to be shared, that NDRI has already successfully demonstrated the gene editing technology, and we produce embryo and publish into the scientific report. And once the embryo, and that embryo has the edited gene is already there, it means, and if the embryo available is there, to produce the animal is not a big problem for NDRI, and we can produce actually gene-edited animal livestock as of desired characteristic. We have not only for the climate resilient, but we are also trying to produce actually the climate, some is specific desired trend actually the animal. For example, beta-lactoalbumin. Beta-lactoalbumin is actually not present in the human milk, but is present in the cattle, buffalo, and other non-bovine milk. So some actually sort of actually the individual and some population of the country are not only in Indian country, but also internationally, they have some allergic problem. So we are trying to actually gene edited. We have demonstrated at the embryo level that we edited actually the beta-lactobil gene, and I'm presuming that milk, because even the animal, if it is produced Tuesday, at least we have to wait for the 3 year after this animal has to be mature, and then it come into the pregnancy. So at least 4 to 5 years we have to be demonstrate the milk be free from beta-lactobil, and then if it is we are going to produce the beta, then the desired means the milk of humanized milk, which does not mean the bovine milk also not actually beta-lactobil will edit it. We have already demonstrated at the embryo level. Animal is also produced, but we have to be test for 5 years. So that's actually also a success story, and that the excellence of dairy science from the NDRI to present gene. Once we have edited and we have proven the embryo development of gene edited of any desired characteristic of the milk, we can produce, and that desired characteristic protein are related with any pathway is going to be produced by the animal. Then it can be, we can actually alter the milk quality also. That's we are looking for future Viksit Bharat. So there is a certain, actually, we know that there is certain processability is also important for milk. For example, we all know the buffalo milk is very good as far as the cheese is concerned, particularly mozzarella cheese is from buffalo gene. Why it is mozzarella cheese of buffalo? Because of a specific protein. So if we know that actually mozzarella, the quality of milk and the processing product also like a cheese is depending upon the ingredient of the specific protein. By the gene editing technology, we're looking forward for the processing, editing the processing also. Processability means that's attributes of the processing which is required for the good processing or the desired product also we can make it by editing the gene editing. So this is also a long-term approach, a long-term actually objective of NDRI to make it. So this is the sum of this, and that's a major actually focus. That's why I have shared the climate region, livestock, multiplication of light dairy animal by cloning, ovum pickup technology, genome selection, semen sex. Semen sexing is also because we know we need actually for making a milk, more and milk production, we need a female animal. But so far as for naturally it's 15. So the semen sex technology is already available by the cell sorting machine from the actually imported by the foreign, but the major concern is the cost of actually sorting. And if you go with this, actually not at most 800 to 900 rupees is need one dose for the sex semen sorting. So it is very difficult to afford by the poor farmers or any farmers actually, even at industry level. So we are looking forward, though it is available, but we're looking forward to develop a cheap technology. Our SRS, our center, one of the actually the laboratory we already developed actually some technology that we are success at 75% actually means generally 50% male and female is produced by naturally, but we have a technology we can sort actually we can enrich our semen in such a way that 50% 25% more female is going to be produced. It is already proven, and now we are going to be tested at the field level. If it is, this could be a very important going to be a very paradigm shift into the desired actually the high quality female production, because it's very cheap actually technology we are trying to develop. Health and value added dairy product I'm sure. So this is also our focus. Our almost 18 product of our NDRI developed, taken by the different companies are commercialized, and they available at the retail actually at the even net like Amazon and all. So this farmer friendly portable technology to make this also important. That's one of like my student and now his faculty. He developed a very cold to a cane with the coated with some nanoparticle which make the milk sustainable for 6 years without any actually chilling system. So these are the actually farmer friendly portable technology we are trying to develop it to make them more accessible and more making the value chain into this, promoting a student toward a startup. I've already shared and given an example that this is also our core focus, that our students, we are admitting a student, most of our student dairy graduate, they are 100% placed in the industry today. But we wanted to focus now our education, we are trying to focus toward make our dairy sector student, a BTech student to become entrepreneur. And that's a success story we have already shared, that one of our student taken technology from NDRI, develop actually the commercialize, and they are providing to different dairy industry stakeholder or the industry to make that chips. And he is a very good successful entrepreneur with the worth of 10 crore as far as present in last 5 to 7 years. And we're looking forward as far as industry, just like all industry, dairy industry, we look forward for zero at Viksit Bharat as per our honorable Prime Minister, because that area is going to be big data, internet, advanced robotic and artificial intelligence. The advanced robotic is also success actually in dairy sector in developed countries, and we are looking forward that to make more and more feasible as far as easy actually as far dairy sector, because dairy sector is sometimes very difficult because we have to deal with the animal, we have to involve, so we have to less labor intensive to the as far as the toward the this mechanization. So we're looking forward that to in the 4.0 by Viksit Bharat. With this, once again, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, for patient listening. I'm sure that I have tried to cover as far dairy sector, what we are doing, what is actually the challenge as far as this. Thank you very much.
चैट
Thank you
बॉक्स
so much,
ऑन
sir.
कर लीजिए, जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स की कोई क्वेरी है, बहुत ही बेहतरीन सर का, बहुत सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी। मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं लगता कि इसमें किसी भी तरीके का कोई संशय या कोई डाउट होगा। फिर भी एक परंपरा है कि लेक्चर के बाद में 10 मिनट का एक डाउट क्लियरिंग सेशन रखते हैं। तो जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स ने ज्वाइन किया है, जिनका कोई भी डाउट है, आप चैट बॉक्स में लिखिए, हमारी मॉडरेटर सर तक क्वेश्चन को पहुंचाएंगे और उसका उसका रिजॉल्व होगा तुरंत क्वेरी।
I will be happy because I try to make more and simplify for our audience. So if you have any sort of actually the question and doubt, we can elaborate. I'm sorry if we could not make, actually it is a very diverse actually field from dairy value chain, from the primary to the, as far as tertiary sector is concerned. I try to make this actually for the more youth actually, and what the concern, what we are doing. So that not only for the, but it's also for the actually the young youth to be adopt, actually take this some of the thing from this, and they can make their interpretation. So I will very happy if you have any sort of the question and clarification, please.
चैट बॉक्स ओपन है, जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहते हैं आप अपने क्वेश्चन को टाइप करिए चैट बॉक्स में। सर तारीफ मिल रही है, वेरी नाइस प्रेजेंटेशन, वेरी गुड प्रेजेंटेशन, वेरी नाइस, ग्रीटिंग्स ग्रीटिंग्स आ रहे हैं। पीपीटी के लिए मत लिखिए, जो रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर है वो मैं ग्रुप में शेयर कर दूंगा, जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स वाला ग्रुप है। जो क्वेश्चन है आप प्लीज क्वेश्चंस पूछिए। एक क्वेश्चन आया है, नंदिनी जी उसको पढ़िए।
Yes, the sir question is that how to improve the productivity of bovine.
I think it is one of the most concern, not for our NDRI, but for all nation, as per all ministries dealing with the actually livestock production. I have already shared the productivity is issue. But the productivity is not the issue if you are making dairy sector as an industry. We have several actually, like I have shared, the current freeze is itself as an average is 14. So if you are taking actually, but as far as indigenous is concerned, that I can understand, indigenous we have to go with a long way to make the actually classical genetic selection process. But we have now we are developing actually genomic selection. We are moved toward the genomic selection. But right now, if you have a high yielding animal, the ovum technology as well as the cloning technology could be, if not cloning, I will say it is but ovum technology could be there. So if you have high yielding milk, the technology is available, centers are available. You can take the actually oocyte from that animal, and you can produce from one animal to 150 to 100 animal from 1 year actually. That's actually the technology. So you can take training from either our institute or from Government of India. Have established 30 centers, and then you can hire some of the actually the animal, and your group of animal or your dairy could be have a good average. But overall actually dairy productivity, if you take, it is matter of concern, but we have a technology can increase, particularly from ovum pickup and technology as per IVF technology.
Well, I think it's clear, and the questions are pouring, sir. And another question from another is, if we want a breed of cow from NDRI, where and how to contact?
I'm sorry, because NDRI is a research institution. We are not actually selling our dairy from our dairy herd. We are actually working on dairy as a research institution. So we try to develop, we only go for auction. So after analyzing, suppose we have any good quality animal or good quality bull who is giving a good quality semen or good quality milk production. So we test actually, we go for the lactation, complete lactation. But after several lactation they are going to be done. Then only we go for auction. So I would suggest that there is now several online authentic website is also there. But you can several actually this online platform mobile apps are there where you can find out how to choose the good breed, how to know actually the breed is good and which is a pure breed is there. Then you have to go the field. There is a registered actually several farmer, like in our nearby also in NDRI there is one farmer that he has for example looking for the Sahiwal. So he has a 400 Sahiwal, and he is actually supplying the good breed actually Sahiwal across the country. So you have to be identify, you have to go with the nearby KVK, you to find out, or you can go with directly with the NDRI associated app, and the advisory issued by the NDRI. You can put your question. Our expert will tell actually from where, how you can get a good breed. But unfortunately, I'm sorry that NDRI is not actually doing this job as per making the breed availability from here, animal availability from our farm. But at the end of actually our experiment, the animal either surplus or some problem is raised, we auction it. So that's only availability as auction is there, but not as any time, whatever the desired animal available, it in our herd can be buy or purchase. So this is not actually our mandate. We are looking forward in beginning that through Obam technology, we can produce a good quality exemplar, and then we can, good quality animal can be auctioned. So because this, I cannot fix the rate. If it is anyone want to buy a good quality animal from us, I will look, but still we need 1 or 2 years to start this, because after open pickup technology, the government of India is also given for training, but I wanted to be produced and want to demonstrate that you can also produce it a good quality animal, and you can make a primary sector entrepreneur producing animal by open pickup technology.
Next,
Sir, another
please.
question is how to understand market dynamics and consumer behavior, also the role of AI in dairy.
That's for that I have, because I'm not very expert as far AI, but I'm pretty sure that you have to be understand the data. And this is actually the data I have shown the big at 4.0 at Viksit Bharat. Big data is going to be a paradigm shift for this actually the dynamic. Now there is a several actually data and database is available with the different ministry, different industry. And if you can get that data, you can easily actually using several economic formula, you can develop actually dynamic. Our NDRA is also trying to develop a big data. And if that data, you can get it. And several actually now the private are coming for the big data is there. So if you have a data, you can find out. And that's why some of the research we are also trying to understand. For example, we have taken a project, what is the requirement of functional food in this area and that area? Because the functional food is also based on preference. Like our South India, our Bangalore center is developing several type of food, which is the preference to food as the South India. But the North India preference is different. So functional food is also depending upon preference and the choice and the taste of the person. So we are trying to understand actually what is the requirement of functional food into different region. And if we can get actually the requirement, then we can really promote what type of actually function food our entrepreneur has to be done. So these are actually the different company and different actually industry. But this area is actually now is challenging. But we are looking. So that's we have to be get a data. Then we have to be apply the formula. You can contact with our economics department. NDRA has a very excellent actually the faculty for this sort of study. You can contact if anyone wants to. Either if you have any plan for any entrepreneur, they can contact us. We have a service for consultancy. We have service for advisory. We have service for that. So that can be used for actually the faculty, and they can take the benefit of our faculty. Thank you very much. Next.
Yes, sir. Another question is how can we have the access to high quality feed and veterinary services which be improved for small scale dairy farmers? And what are the best practices for breeding and genetic improvement to enhance milk production?
So again, I have said we have actually most of the advisory sector. We have a ethics center like in each every good institution we have an ethics center. So ethics center has a free actually the phone service, and you can go to our website. You can find out. You can directly chat with actually our experts. So all this veterinary and not only this, Government of India in different actually they have already started the mobile vehicles, mobile actually veterinary service vehicles like this. So the Government of India is also taking, and the state government is also joining hand to make this. But if you want to be any sort of solution, there is a now large number or if you have a close by a KVK, each and every district has a KVK. So you can go and approach our KVK, and KVK has a SMS that subject matter specialist. They have an animal husbandry subject fodder, and there is every type of. So you can contact the preliminary, you can get the preliminary information, or if they are not able to supply, they will definitely provide from where you can get it. So I think there is several choices available. as per veterinary service is there, like including the mobile vehicle, a mobile van started by our government of India. They have, I think, thousands of the vehicle have given across the different, actually, the state for making this. So that is available. Otherwise, you can simply go to the KVK or you can contact anywhere, ethic free number, and then definitely you can get the actually what you need to be do for this.
Next.
Yes, sir. The next question is how to enhance nutritional value of milk in this preservative era of market.
Oh, this is a something a very new science, like how nutritional. If I'm correctly understanding, you wanted to know that through nutrition, how we can increase the quality of milk. That's if it's correct, then it is possible, because I'm a molecular biologist. I can sure say that by some sort of nutrition, for example, it is already proven the grazing milk, like the animal is going for grazing, they have a very high percentage of CLA, and CLA has been considered as good. So the nutrient can change the ability of the sum of the feed, but very limited. We have to be understand. It is so quality of the milk can be increased by the nutrition is true, but we have to be understand what quality you want to be. Some sort of actually the polyphenol can be increased by the giving some sort of the feed, but the limited actually that's a research is called epigenetic. How nutrition can affect actually the quality of milk means there is two type of actually the genetic. One is called nutrigenetics, another is called nutrigenomics. Nutrigenetics means I can give another simple example, you can understand it. Nutrigenetics is that there is a certain population and human. That's the one. Nutrigenetics I'm talking about. Some people eat much, but they are not going to be fatty. Reason is that there is a different metabolic structure and genetic structure is there, genetic. So some people eat less, they become a fatty. So it is called nutrigenetics. Nutrigenomics means you can increase or decrease the actually the nutrition ability by the food, right? For example, during pregnancy, choline and folic acid is given because of requirement, and we know that this choline and folic acid is going to be do certain type of a pathway of the requirement. That's called nutrigenomics. So there is a chance to increase nutrigenetic and nutrigenomics system through a feed or through selection or through the different feed habits. It is possible. For example, latest research came into this that choline can be changed actually the epigenetics of the certain gene, and that gene is going to affect the stress condition. So the animal is not going to be stressed if you treat with. So these are the actually, but there is like agouti mice. Agouti mice, that's obese gene. Right. So these are the actually the science is available, but we have to bring into the practicability into the livestock is still need to be researched and is going on. This is one of the focus of India, right? Also in long term.
Next.
Sir, someone has started a dairy farm and a small scale goat and rabbit farming. What do you suggest to scale his business to incorporate more animals?
Yeah, goatry is nowadays very, because the lot of I have already shared that's food preference as part the nutritional food security. Food security is the quality food. As far as the hunger is there, meat is well accepted. Those who are preparing the meat, the goat meat is also. So this industry is very important. We have another institute at Mathura, Magdum, for all sort of training for goat is given by that institute. So please visit. Actually, I will suggest, I'm not the expert of the goatry for this, but goatry and rabbit is also actually one of our institute at Avikanagar CI, this sheep and wool research institute at Avikanagar, CSWRI. And you can take actually the help of from that website of rabbit, and goat is also in Magdum. So they are doing all sort of training. You can visit the website and you can training. And this is a very good actually as far as good. But today, nowadays also, the goat is also moving to a non-bovine milk, because goat is considered as some of the characteristic of milk now. Data shows they are good quality is there, some of the ingredient. We are trying to understand how it is going to be a good quality. Then it is a milk could be also substitute. Though so far, all non-bovine contribution in milk production is not more than 4%. So it is not very important, but this, it could be of quality and other purposes. Otherwise, goat is very important as far as you know the goatry business as far goat is concerned.
Next.
Someone has asked that if cow dung is not available for Jivamrut, can we use buffalo dung?
That's but what I suggest that this cow has now the latest technology government is there, not Jivamitra also, but also for the this if you want to be make ourselves entrepreneur, the CNG is also going to be a good option from the cow dung. So I think we have to be look for the good, but that's exactly the cow milk. So far, Jivamitra has been concerned with the cow milk, the cow urine as well as dung, because of certain bacteria what is prepared. I'm not expert, but you can take the exam, go with this. Our KB giving this, so you can take care of this.
Someone is asking difference between milk and colostrum.
Oh, the first actually starting the colostrum is you can say concentrated. The first actually that some because the baby is going to be, so it is the concentrated milk with the certain more immune ingredient is there, more immune protein is there. It is the characteristics of actually any mammalian to produce actually the first milk, and then the milk is going to be a change over the period of lactation. So शुरू का जो milk होता है उसको colostrum बोलते हैं, और उसको सर्टेन पीरियड के लिए, हर एक मैमल का पीरियड अलग होता है, तो उसके अंदर जो उसका शुरू का पीरियड होता है वो बेबी के लिए, क्योंकि बेबी को इमीडिएटली जब बाहर आता है तो उसको इम्यूनिटी की बहुत जरूरत होती है, एक्वायर्ड इम्यूनिटी, और एक होती है जो ह्यूमरल इम्यूनिटी होती है, वो तो आपके जीन से मिल जाती है, लेकिन एक्वायर्ड इम्यूनिटी आपके मिल्क से बहुत सारी इंपॉर्टेंट इंग्रेडिएंट है, और वो मैमल्स का होता है, हर एक मैमल का colostrum of कितने दिन तक colostrum रहेगा अलग होता है, and you can look into this actually. So the colostrum is the first initial stage of the milk is the colostrum, which is concentrated, and some more immune ingredient is a high concentrated. Though that immune is also present into the other than, but that they are going to be diluted. This is the natural actually the milking and lactation behavior.
Next.
Sir, someone is asking, in GOI, one project is natural farming. Why only cow is allowed in this project?
In national farming.
Natural farming.
Natural farming.
No,
natural farming only cow is allowed because the in the it's I don't think it is only natural. Natural is something which you have to be used the natural practices, right? So for any actually the natural practices which you have to use it. I'm not aware that is only for that. I will look forward for that actually. So I will if you just put this message, I will give you from our experts to be given in much more detail.
एक दो क्वेश्चंस और हैं सर, छोटे छोटे, मैं जल्दी में बोलूंगा सर. How much percentage of urea mixed in animal feed?
I think that I will give the experts actually the animal feed, क्योंकि ये different actually formulation is there, right? So I will give this information. I'm not expert for it.
Okay, sir.
I think
देखिए नंदिनी, मैं मुझे लगता है कि नहीं बता. हाँ, एक क्वेश्चन हिंदी में आया है, कितने % में यूरिया फीड में मिलाकर जानवरों को खिलाया जा सकता है, गाय और भैंस को?
इसका इसलिए क्वेश्चन के उसको पहले हम एनालिसिस करते हैं कि कौन सा फीड है, कैसे है, फिर उसमें यूरिया की है. ऑन एवरेज तो बताना यहाँ पे ठीक नहीं होगा, क्योंकि मैसेज कभी कभी गलत चला जाता है, राइट? सो एग्जैक्ट आंसर हो उसका, ठीक है? तो इसको हम अगर किसी का है तो प्लीज गिव मी, आई विल फॉरवर्ड टू माय एक्सपर्ट एंड दे विल गिव ऑल डिटेल व्हाट दे नीड फ्रॉम दिस यूरिया. ठीक है?
I think that's all, sir.
Thank you very much. I think so. I'm very happy that there is a lot of interest actually of the audience as well as the listener, the viewers. So thank you. I hope the talk and some of the reply, if there is any question which is not answered, actually, please forward to me. I will give with their email or detail. I will sure that I will give it to our experts, and that can be forwarded to them through mail, through phone, whatever they prefer actually. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity, and I really appreciate your initiative. I think this type of initiative really giving a lot of actually the queries and who cannot be, means it is really difficult for all of us to give simple talk like here and like this. So I'm really appreciate and congratulate Angurji for you as per your team for making this initiative and making this type of a lecture to make actually interact with actually the authorities, or you can say the senior fellows across the, not only the country, but the world, to our viewers. So, and thanks to this platform, which is, and that's a platform has become a very useful after the COVID. So always the blessing in disguise. I think this COVID has given this virtual platform and some really making.
जी सर, एक्चुअली 1 मंथ के लिए इन लोगों को एकोमोडेट करना इतने पार्टिसिपेंट्स को एक बड़ा चैलेंजिंग होता है सर.
Yeah, sir, that's a very difficult. 205, you have to be a good.
लगभग 320 कैंडिडेट्स ने ज्वाइन किया था और
Right.
YouTube पे 200 कैंडिडेट ज्वाइन किए, लगभग 500 प्लस कैंडिडेट्स ज्वाइन
Oh,
थे.
that's really. Thank you very much.
500 प्लस सर.
Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सो मच सर, आप मेरे अनुरोध पे आपने लेक्चर डिलीवर किया.
Thank you.
आगे भी आपका सहयोग और आशीर्वाद इसी तरीके से चाहिए.
I visit sometime NDRI also, and so I'm going to make the NDRI video, some visual, and so you can share actually the others others also to understand. We are trying to attend MOOC the video actually for the dairy farming also. So that could be also important, and I will share that they can go and join it over the dairy farming online actually platform, which can be helped because the experts actually given. I have given a very generalized form, but the expert can give in detail for each and every aspect, whether it's feed, whether the processing, production, genetic selection, genomic selection, nutrition, and all aspects. Thank you very much. So if you allow, I may leave it, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Good night, sir. Good night. ठीक है, सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स लेफ्ट कर सकते हैं.
Thank you, sir.